the Adventurous Joe Show. The Adventurous Joe himself, Joseph Michaels. And welcome to this week's Adventurous Joe Show. I am your host, as always, the Adventurous Joe. Or, as I'm known right now, the Adventurous Outlaw. That's right, boys and girls. Get your saddles on. I'm a-coming king. Okay, anyway, this week's show, we got our comic book review of Red Hood and the Outlaws. Whoa, really? Wait till you hear my review on this one. Also, we've got our video game review of... sorry about that. Saints Row-Gat Outta. Yeah, this one was kind of interesting and could have just been labeled as a DLC instead of paying $20 for it. Seriously. Also, we've got our movie review of Jupiter Ascending and our Power Rangers Dino Charge review of the first 2 episodes. What's my review on it? You're going to have to stick around to find out. Also, our anime review, finally, of our anime review for Cowboy Bebop. Yes! How awesome is that? And last but not least, our Cosplayer of the Week. And this lovely young lady has had this a long time coming. Seriously. We've been checking out her Twitter, her Facebook, any other social medias she's associated with, and she's got quite the fan base. So wait till you hear all about her when it's time. Alright, now we're going to kick off this little baby with Red Hood and the Outlaws for our comic book review. Coming up next. Alright people, it is time now for this week's comic book review, and it is on none other than DC's New 52, the Red Hood and the Outlaws. Now, this review is not just on Volume 1. It's going to be on Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up to date. Okay? And I'll tell you right now, I gotta thank my friend Faust. It's super effective. I mean, seriously, you gotta check out this guy's comic book origin stories and stuff like that. He does a fantastic job with it. He got me turned on to this series. I wanted to check it out for myself after seeing his review on it, telling the story of Starfire and everything else, and so on and so forth. Okay, I had to check out this series for myself, and right now, unbelievable. I've been reading all 5 volumes of the trade paperback, got all the comic books up to date, seriously, and I cannot believe how this series is going. I mean, seriously, it's basically Jason Todd, who is none other than Red Hood, okay? Then you got Coriander, Princess Coriander, who is Starfire, and then you got Red Arrow, otherwise known as Arsenal, okay? His name is Roy, okay? And I will tell you right now, this first volume kicked off with a very interesting way. I meant seriously interesting. Issue number 6 tells the story of how Jason Todd and Starfire met, okay? Which starts off the trade paperback, by the way. Then issues 1 through 5 tell the story about how Red Hood and the Outlaws get formed, okay? Now, I'll tell you right now, Jason Todd's character comes off as kind of a cold bastard, okay? He's so cold-hearted about shit. But at the same time, when he meets Coriander, okay, she changes him. Okay, she literally changes him. Starts to make him see, you know, there's more to life than just killing people and so on and so forth, okay? But she, when it comes to the sexual relationship between her and Jason and Roy, that's right, Coriander, Princess Coriander, Starfire, aka Starfire, has become basically a slut. I mean, she's a free-spirited woman of sorts, but they've changed her into pretty much a practical whore. I mean, seriously. She sleeps with Jason Todd first, Then she sleeps with Roy after they rescue him. And then after that, she just carries on sleeping with Roy. So she basically goes from one guy to the next, and so on and so forth. But the problem is, Starfire doesn't know real love, okay? Because of everything that's happened to her in the past and stuff like that. If you've read all of the issues and so on and so forth, you know all about what her past is about. However, there's a great deal to the Outlaws. I mean, not only are they considered fugitives, but they're trying to be heroes. Seriously. They go from saving the Earth more than once, to saving the people of Gotham, to saving Princess Coriander's sister and her home planet, even though she was very much against wanting to do so. I mean, she had a lot of hate in her heart towards her home planet and her sister for making her be sold off into slavery. I mean, seriously, bad shit. Then, it gets even worse, okay? Now, Red Hood and the Outlaws, I'm going to tell you right now, the first 5 volumes, and plus the comics past the first 5 volumes, I will tell you right now, I'm giving this series an 8 out of 10. I love where it's going, I love how the story's going, but I still can't get past how they turned Starfire like they did into a glorified whore. Seriously. I mean, they've made her practically where, oh, she don't care about love. It's just, sleep with this guy, no love there, doesn't matter. She sleeps with Roy, love there, no love there, doesn't matter. Until later on, she starts to develop, you know, a relationship with him. Actually becomes his girlfriend, and so on and so forth. There's a difference in that, okay? That's where I like this story is going. So, and I'm giving it a badass seal of approval. Seriously badass. This comic series is bad frickin' ass. I mean, I love where it's going. I see where it's got potential and more that could be improved upon it. Okay? High recommendations. You check it out for yourself. And if you want to know more about Starfire's origin and so on and so forth, follow the link down below to It's Super Effective's channel and see what Faust has to say on things. He's got a whole history on how Starfire joined the Teen Titans, was originally involved with Dick Grayson up to a point where they were going to get married and so on and so forth. Then everything changed and so on and so on and so on. I mean, it's a great thing he's doing, and you should give his channel a checking out nonetheless. Okay, once again, final verdict on Red Hood and the Outlaws is an 8 out of 10. High recommendation, you check it out for yourselves, and a badass seal of approval. Seriously badass. This series is getting good every time I read more of it. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to move on to something else that's considered outrageously outlawed. With Saints Row Gat Outta Hell, our video game review. Coming up next. Alright people, it's time now for this week's video game review, and it's on none other than Saints Row Gat Outta Hell. Now, if you've played Saints Row games in the past, all the way from Saints Row all the way up to Saints Row 4, you actually know everything is practically the same. So on and so forth. Seriously, in Gat Outta Hell, Johnny Gat goes into hell to rescue the boss, which is the President of the United States, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, as you all know, in Saints Row 4, you were given awesome powers like high jumping, flying, and all that other good shit. Okay? However, in Saints Row Gat Outta Hell, this thing practically runs like a DLC. Seriously. It runs like a glorified DLC. It doesn't run like a full-blown video game like Saints Row 4. It runs like a DLC pack that, you know, it gives you a long adventure, rescue the president, get to do this, get to do that, blah 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 blah. However, it had 4 or 5 different endings to it. Seriously, there were 4 or 5 different ways you could end Saints Row-Gat Out of Hell. Now, we're going to turn you over to that gameplay footage we got and tell you more about the game. Alright people, welcome to Saints Row-Gat Out of Hell. Now like I said, this thing runs like a glorified DLC. It costed $19.99 for a physical copy and stuff. It's on all platforms. It runs from Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, and PC. Seriously. But for $19.99, it's not too bad of a game. I mean, seriously, it's not that bad of a game. However, get one thing straight right now. This thing does not run like a normal game like Saints Row 4 did and stuff. However, you get increased new powers, you get new weapons, and so on and so forth to try out. And while you're in hell, you have side missions you have to do while you're in hell in order to gain the devil's attention. Seriously, if you're gonna get Satan's attention, you gotta be one glorified motherfucking badass in this thing. Terrible, ain't it? Either way you look at it, this game is rated M for mature people. That means it's not meant for anyone under the age of the 18 and older crowd. Unless you pretty much used to all that kind of stuff. But there's some serious boss fights. The one against Satan, the boss fight against Satan, God help you if you ain't armed up to the teeth. Seriously. If you ain't upgraded, you are dead. If you upgrade it as much as possible, you got a fighting chance at this. Because this guy will literally kill you over and over and over. Okay? Unless you got a way to frickin' survive. Now, there's so many ways to do things in this game. You can upgrade your skill points like you always did. You can go on side missions and upgrade your skill points from that. However, it still runs like a DLC. It seriously runs like a DLC. You could have played it just like you played Dead Rising Patient Zero or Case Zero, whatever that is. Dead Rising 2 Aftermath story and stuff like that. Okay? It all runs like a DLC pack. Okay? And for 20 bucks, you're getting a lot in it. Okay? However, if you don't want to pay 20 bucks for it and stuff, I'd wait more along the lines of like when they have a sale for it or something. But one thing that puzzles me is they should have made it where the Saints Row 4 Season Pass worked for this game. It could have automatically just been, okay, download the game. You don't have to pay 20 bucks for it. No, they separated it from Saints Row 4 and just titled it Saints Row-Gat Out of Hell. Okay? Which is the aftermath to Saints Row 4. Ugh. Seriously, it's just very disturbing how the game things work these days. Anyways, let's move on to our final verdict. Final verdict is an 8 out of 10. I like how the game plays. I loved how the game plays. It's fun to play through and stuff. Especially when you get that easy chair thing with the Gatling guns on it. Oh, mamma mia, I love that part. However, the price. The price alone is 20 bucks, okay? The price alone for this thing, it's not too bad, but at the same time, come on. You could have made it at least a little cheaper for a DLC. Okay, I mean, this thing is still considered a DLC, because even if you buy the physical copy, you can still get the digital copy off of the PlayStation Network and the Xbox Live Network. Okay, the Xbox Live Network as well. I mean, seriously, it still is like a DLC pack, okay? Either way, my final verdict is 8 out of 10, badass seal of approval. I love some of the great action in it. I mean, when those fight scenes begin and stuff like that, and you're shooting it out with these demons and everything, woo! Badass stuff, especially if your weapons are upgraded to the hilt. Woo! Unbelievable. And a little bit of a recommendation, you check it out for yourselves. Some people didn't like Saints Row, some do, and some don't. But if you loved it, I highly recommend you check it out for yourself. Okay, now that we're done with this video game review, we're going to move on to our movie review of Jupiter Ascending. Coming up next. It's time now for this week's movie review, and it's on Jupiter Ascending. Now, Mila Kunis plays a lost princess, warrior princess or something like that, from another galaxy and everything. And it turns out that Channing Tatum comes there to find her, okay? And basically, her home planet is run by an evil dictator, ruler, so on and so forth. And the story just gets you lost. I mean, seriously, if you've never read the book series about this movie, you know, based on this movie, you're going to be totally lost on this film. Because you don't know how she how she's this alien princess, but she got sent to Earth, like Superman got sent to Earth by his parents and so on and so forth. I mean, seriously, this movie was all over the frickin' place, but some of the action sequences, pretty good. Okay, some of the action in it was pretty good, but the storyline was very boring, dragged out, too long to make the film like it was. I mean, seriously, just make it more interesting. The movie was just all over the place, hard to follow at times, trying to understand how Mila Kunis is this alien princess, warrior princess thingy or whatever, and why they want her dead when they didn't even know she was living on Earth until Channing Tatum comes to Earth. Seriously, people, I would not waste my money on this movie. I would wait till it comes on like Netflix or one of them and rent it. Okay? I would not waste money or time trying to watch this movie. Now, if you've read the books that they're supposed to be based upon, fine. Then you will understand the movie better. However, I could not hardly follow the film. It was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And lost on this subject. How does this person know this and blah, 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 blah. Okay? It was just like following Man of Steel. Very off the beaten path of what you might know. But seriously, my final verdict on it, I will tell you right now, is not even going to be close to a 10. I'm going with a 5 out of 10. This movie was just too damn all over the place. Storyline, very boring, very dragged out. Making the movie not that great to watch in the first place, and so on and so forth. Okay? I just could not keep up with it or follow it. It was just off here and there. The romantic so-and-so relationship between her, Mila Kunis, and Channing Tatum, you know, it just was so dragged out and boring. This film was terrible. And I'm telling you right now, I'm giving it 2 thumbs down. A badass seal of approval on some action sequences. It was some pretty cool fight sequences, you know, space battle, blah, 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 kind of shit. However, high recommendation is wait for it to come to Netflix or one of them. Make it a rental at least, okay? Wait till it comes to your pay-per-view channel on your local cable channels. Don't waste money going to the theater and see it. I'm sorry, but it's just not worth it. Not even in 3D. No way. So, that's it for this week's movie review. Now, we're going to move on to our Power Rangers review of the first 2 episodes of Dino Charge. Coming up next. Power Rangers! Go, Power Rangers! Welcome to this week's Power Rangers review of Dino Charge, the first 2 episodes. And I'll tell you right now, this series has started off pretty damn good. I mean, seriously, compared to Super Mega Force, this one is starting off pretty damn good. However, one problem, Kendall. I'm sorry to say it, but she comes off as a very snotty, snooty bitch. Okay? She comes off as like someone who thinks she's better than everyone. Okay? We've had that before in certain characters and stuff, but this one, she just like looks down on the Pink Ranger and says, well, I don't know why the Pink Dino Gem chose you, you know, in the first place. You know, like, there's no redeeming qualities to her whatsoever. It's just like, oh, well, you're no better. I don't know why that Dino Gem chose you. You're not worth it. Seriously? That's how you start off Dino Charge? By going already with this woman that's supposed to be like the creator of the the Dino Charge batteries and cells and so on and so forth, and making her into like a snooty, snotty bitch? Ugh. Sorry, but I don't like that one bit. But I will tell you right now, the Dino Charge episodes are starting off pretty damn good. They didn't just start off with 5 kids together and so on and so forth and bringing them together. You know, no. They made them that 2 of them were already Power Rangers. Okay? Secretly were already Power Rangers. Then they brought Shelby and Tyler into it and made it different, okay? Made it so their Dino Gems reacted to them and stuff and gave them their powers and so on and so forth. Okay, and Coda, he's a caveman. Now, we don't even know how he got into the picture in the first place and stuff. This is what's bad about it, is Dino Charge starts off with the story of how the Dino Gems get to Earth and so on and so forth, and this new guy named Sledge who looks like Lord Zed. I mean, seriously, looks like Lord Zed. I mean, badass as Lord Zed too. However, he's also got Fury, he's got his bride-to-be, and so on and so forth. Florina or something like that her name is. And, but I still can't get past how Shelby was belittled like she was. I mean, come on. First ever African-American Pink Ranger, and you freaking do a story, start the storyline in the second episode, basically, by having this Kendall woman come down on her like she's worthless. Seriously. Oh, I don't know why that Pink Dino Gem chose you. She sounds like one of those snotty bitches I used to go to school with. Seriously. Oh. Either way you look at it, my final verdict on the first 2 episodes of Dino Charge is going to be an 8 out of 10. Okay, I can't get past how Kendall looks down on Shelby like she does, when I know maybe eventually things will change and stuff like that. But come on, looking down upon her and saying basically like she's worthless, she's not worth being a Power Ranger, and what the hell? Ugh. Seriously, if you're trying to promote this kind of thing towards kids, you don't do that kind of crap. Okay? Either way, final verdict is an 8 out of 10. Some badass action in both episodes. So I'm giving it a badass seal of approval. And high recommendations. You check it out for yourselves. But be warned. This is a series that's supposed to be aimed towards kids. So you're not going to exactly see a lot of this whole snooty bitch kind of blah 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 shit and all the time and stuff. Kendall, I think, is just a misunderstood woman, but at the same time, bringing her character across in the second episode as like, oh, well, you're useless as a Power Ranger anyway and stuff like that. I don't know why that Dino Gem chose. That made me mad. Seriously. If this woman just comes across like a snooty, snotty bitch. Seriously. Ugh. And here she's supposed to be like a commander-in-chief of the Power Rangers Dino Charge team. The creator of their devices and so on and so forth. Their morphers. Seriously bad. Either way, that's it for this week's Power Rangers review of Dino Charge. Next time around, I'll have another review or news on things pretty soon. We'll let you know more. Also, The Zordon of Eltar movie is getting a release date of sometime, hopefully spring of this year. The creator and the director and so on and so forth have all had said on their Facebook page that they're hoping to have the movie finished by spring so everyone can watch it. And now it's no longer just like a 10-minute or 20-minute film. It's going to be a whole 1-hour adventure. I like that. It's like it's a 2-part episodes put together. I like that idea altogether. When that is released, you can bet sure as hell we'll have our review upon it. Okay, now we're going to move on to our anime review of Cowboy Bebop. Coming up next. It's time now for our first ever review of Cowboy Bebop. Seriously, we have not done Cowboy Bebop. I've went through every show I've done on anime reviews and stuff, and not once have we done Cowboy Bebop yet. So this is pretty fitting since the whole theme of this show is the Adventurous Outlaw. Either way you look at it, this series was fantastic. Great storyline. It was a bit lost at first and stuff like that, but it started to pick up, okay? It was a little boring at first, but it started picking up as the episodes progressed and the characters got added and so on and so forth. You've got Ein, who is a corgi, who is a smart as frickin' hell corgi, and then you've got Edward, who is actually a girl. Seriously. But he looks like a boy. Seriously, she looks like a boy. And it's probably because the way she was made up and stuff. Then you got Faye Valentine, who's a big con woman. I mean, seriously, she's a big-time con woman, but sexy as hell. Sexy and dangerous as hell, but you get the idea. Then you've got Jet, who is the commander of the Bebop. And also leader, basically, of the Bebop. I mean, he makes sure they get their bounty assignments and stuff, gets them to their different locations. He's a former cop who turned into a bounty hunter. And you get to see in one part of the series his origin story. And tells about how, well, actually it's in 2 different episodes of the series. Because one, you find out about his ex-fiancée harboring some guy that she's involved with now who's a big-time drug dealer and shit. And then you get the origin story of how he was betrayed by his former partner when they were cops. His former partner betrayed him to this criminal who's taken over this ship, this prison ship, and so on and so forth. It just gets better and better and better. And then, last but not least, there's Spike. Spike Spiegel is awesome as fuck. He's a little kooky at times and shit, but dangerous as hell. Seriously, dangerous as hell. If he wanted to kill you, he could do it. Okay? But he gets into a lot of big scrapes, and it just leads up into a more bigger storyline through the series concerning him and his former partner, who was also his friend, who he fell in love with his girlfriend, and so on and so forth. Julia. He tracks Julia down several places and stuff like that until towards the end of the series, the final 2 episodes of the series, well, actually it's the final 3 episodes of the series, Spike gets back together with Julia, and they try to confront the Dragon Mafia. Well, guess what? Here's a spoiler alert if you have not seen the series. She gets killed, and Spike gives up his life by going to the very place the Dragon Mafia is at and fucking kills every single one of them before he gets killed himself. Holy shit! Was that part badass as fuck. He goes in there and frickin' kicks a grenade in there and just boom, blows up everybody. Then just comes in guns blazing and shit. It was like going out in a blaze of glory, and he was going to make sure he destroyed every last one of them. I mean, seriously, it was just unbelievable as hell for an ending. But it was kind of sad about that he dies in the end. He lost the love of his life, he gives up his life, and so on and so forth. And I think Faye Valentine had a thing for him. Seriously, I think she started to have a real big thing for him and stuff. That's why she was begging him not to go and everything else. To me, personally, I'd love to see a continuation of this series. If they ever did a continuation to this series, I would love to have seen it. However, my final verdict on Cowboy Bebop is a high 10 out of 10. Seriously, with a borderline 11. And a badass seal of approval. Seriously, badass. I mean, seriously, badass. And also, a high recommendation. You check it out for yourself. If you have not seen the series, look it up. The DVD box set you can get on Amazon, I believe, right now for around under $30. I'm not sure. You'd have to check on that for yourselves. But seriously, this series was bad freaking ass, and I loved every moment of it. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're going to move on to our final part of the show, the Cosplayer of the Week segment. And as I told you, this lovely young lady has had this a long time coming, and she deserves to be named into the T.A.J.S. Cosplayers Hall of Fame class of 2015. Find out who she is next. Alright people, it's time now for this week's Cosplayer of the Week segment, brought to you by the Adventurous Joe Show and Nerd Block. Seriously, Nerd Block. Want to know more about Nerd Block? I'll link down below to nerdblock.com. There you go. Okay, this lovely young... Sorry about that. This lovely young lady has had this a long time coming. Now, back when my first season of my show was going on and stuff, I did a cosplayers tribute, you know, to all the cosplayers and stuff. That's how I got to meet this young lady and got to speak with her and stuff, and found out what a terrific cosplayer she is. She has done a fantastic job ever since then. And I will tell you right now, her cosplays are great. Seriously great. I mean, if she was into modeling as well, wow. Go for it, woman. Seriously, go for it. She's got what it takes to do both. However, she's done the cosplay thing, and she's done a fantastic job with it. And we're proud to make her one of the Cosplayer Force, our upcoming little page we got coming up on Facebook soon. We're working out all the details and so on and so forth. Also, we're naming her as the next inductee to the T.A.J.S. Cosplayers Hall of Fame class of 2015. Seriously. At the end of 2015, we're going to be doing a special tribute to all those cosplayers of the week for this year, including her. And now, without further ado, check out her amazing pics, and we'll see you for the ending part of the show. Please welcome now, Wind of the Stars Cosplay. Enjoy! people, your cosplayer of the week for this week, Wind of the Stars cosplay. Seriously, Wind of the Stars is almost like Banner of the Stars, Crest of the Stars. Eh? Come on, you gotta know the anime. Anyways, we're proud to induct her as the next inductee to the T.A.J.S Cosplayers Hall of Fame class of 2015, which, like I said, will be holding a special tribute to all those cosplayers of the week for this year at the end of the year. Boom! Either way, that's it. We're done for this week. Once again, big congrats to Wind of the Stars Cosplay. Also, you want to sign up with nerdblock.com? Follow the link down in our description to nerdblock.com and sign up with them today. They have different blocks to choose from. There's Classic Nerd Block, Junior Boys and Girls for the little ones, and there is Arcade Block and Horror Block for the adults. Seriously, great stuff, people. Really great stuff every month. Depending on the block you choose, you're getting some epically good stuff. Either way, that's it for our show for this week. I have been your host, as always, the Adventurous Joe, Joseph Michaels. Peace out. May the Force be with you, and may the power protect you all. See you next week, folks. Later.